all over the world, the thing with spy films is that it's, of course, it will be globe-trotting, it will be all action-packed, it will have a lot of, bombs flying or cars zooming in and around, you've got bikes crashing into things, the usual drill. But what really sets apart the YR of spy universe is that they all look very similar despite having different star casts. This review might contain spoilers and do watch this at your own discretion. Vanakkam and welcome to Cinema Express. This is Avinash Ramachandran. In this video review episode, we are going to look at Ayan Mukerji's War 2, starring Hrithik Roshan, Junior NTR, Kiara Advani, and a bunch of other actors. War 2 starts off where almost war left, which is the rogue operative Kabir, who is now a freelance contractor per se, is randomly killing off people in Japan. There is a very largely seemingly inventive stunt sequence, but when you look into it, after a point it's like more of the same. And I think that's the problem with War 2 itself, because most of the stunt sequences look like more of the same, but in different settings. One point you have them, the fight sequence happening on top of a train, and one time it happens on top of a flight, inside a flight, and then there's one on water, and then there's one I don't know, maybe whatever elements is there in the world, everywhere war has a fight. Of course, there's an icy cave which also is there. You get the drift, right? We've seen that in Pathan, we've seen that in War 1, and now we've seen that in War 2. I think slowly lethargy is setting in the filmmakers, and the lethargy is setting inside the actors, and there is a lot of, let's just say, discontentment from the audience. Because, see, why do we watch these spy films from all over the world? We have the Mission Impossible, which is clearly one of the most obvious inspiration for the YR of spy universe so far. You've got this rogue agents, you've got this one main head inside the Indian intelligence who orchestrates all these things and make sure that everything comes together. And then there is a lot of red herrings everywhere. There's one beautiful line in the film that goes, the problem with playing these spy games is that you don't know when to trust whom, and I think that precisely sums up the entire narrative of all the spy films that's come out so far in Indian cinema. War 2 is no different, but one good thing is it pits two solid superstars against each other. You have Hrithik Roshan and Junior NTR playing Kabir and Vikram respectively. Why they are at loggerheads is very simple. One person is India's best soldier, the other person is also India's best soldier. So you get the point, right? Both of them are two sides of the seemingly same coin, but there is a twist there. Of course, there's a twist there, and you might not see it coming in this particular format, but you know it's gonna come. And even the makers have not really played around with it, and they've actually said the audience to not give a lot of spoilers out. So let's also do the same. Let's not give a spoiler as to who is doing what and why. But the point is, there is a reason why Hrithik Roshan's Kabir and Junior NTR's Vikram are at loggerheads. And the way that plays out against each other, the way they keep on fighting, the way they keep on competing, the way they keep on being at each other's throats, and yet not at any point is one person becoming the bigger champion among these two. Not any moment where one person has the upper hand or the lower hand. So I think that is what is also the reason why War 2 doesn't reach the place it has to, because in the way it has to cater to two big stars, it doesn't do justice to the story, because you know for a fact that Kabir is not going to lose to Vikram, and I'm pretty sure Vikram also can't lose to Kabir. So what exactly is happening? Who exactly is the villain? The villain is not one person anymore. I think our superstars have grown so big that they just can't have one villain anymore. They need to have a huge syndicate, and that's what happens in War 2 also. There is something called Kali, which is very interesting idea. Imagine you're making a film out of India about a spy universe, and you're saying that except India, almost every one of its neighbors are plotting this huge idea to vanquish India. And every country has one representative in this Kali syndicate, and they are trying to ensure that India does not have a great prime minister. They just want their puppet to be there. The usual world domination thing. That's again the same thing in War 2 as well. But the point still is, even though they are globe-trotting, at one moment you see them in Davos, one moment you see them in Spain, and then you see them in Amsterdam, then in Somalia, then in New Delhi, and then in Old Delhi, and then in Mumbai. and then in I think a few other countries that they loved going and chilling at there. All these places the film goes to, but the problem is it jumps into these territories so rapidly. It's almost like one day they are in one place, literally the next day then one other place, and then they're back to the third place in the within the same few hours. So the thing is, it's fun to have a globe-trotting adventure, but it's not as much fun when you're literally doing this without showing how they are doing it at least once. As in, you don't really see them peeling off a mask or faking a passport, or does someone who is completely disavowed by the Indian intelligence, how are they going to do it? I think these things would have been much more intriguing to watch. See, War 2 is not trying to reinvent the wheel. It is not trying to push something that is completely out of the ordinary. It is saying very template things. But even then, even during these template things, you do need some sort of ingenuity, right? You need to know how the spy world moves. You want to know why Kabir is Kabir. You want to know why everyone vouches by Kabir. And there is a story why they do it here. There is a backstory that traces the life of Kabir. It was very interesting to see what made him the way he is today. But the thing is, after a point, why we watch these spy films, why we watch these globe-trotting adventure action dramas is because we want to know how they do certain things. See, we are convinced right from the first frame that nothing bad is going to happen to India as long as Kabir is there. We are very sure that nothing will happen to any country as long as the primary spy is taking care of these things. Of course, he's going to get help from a lot of different spies in different areas, but the point still is you need to know how they do it. It's not enough if you just orchestrate a wonderful action sequence down the staircases of Spain. Again, something we've seen so many times already, but still it has some value here because it is being played by Hrithik Roshan and Junior NTR. That chemistry is actually off the charts. Both of them play around the idea of stardom. They play around the idea of how to deliver very interesting dialogues that are probably not in today's cinema's parlance anymore. I'm not sure a lot of these dialogues would have been sold even in the mid 2010 something. It's straight out of the 90s playbook. It's probably even the 80s. Those dialogues are very cliched. They're very pop culture-y. But that's the thing, once we settle into the world of the wire of spy universe, mainly Pathan or Tiger or War, we are in for such things. We understand that the drama will take precedence. We understand that the sentiment will be an important factor, and that comes through in many characters in War too. Because the heroine who is being played by Kiara Advani, who is Kavya Luthra, who is an IAF combat pilot, who is also the love interest that we get to know later. But again, there's no spoiler here, mainly because the songs are already there and you've seen them having sizzling chemistry. But the point is, she is still stuck between two alpha males trying to be alpha, and there's no pun intended on alpha at all. But the thing is, she deserve more? Definitely. Did Anil Kapoor's character deserve more? Definitely. Did everybody else surrounding these two macho guys deserve more? Definitely. But there is no space for all of them because the story genuinely revolves around these two people, and they have got emotional prominence, they've got physical prominence. Their stunt sequences are quite interesting, even if after a point they become repetitive. But the thing is, the locations are fun, the fights are fun, the sentiment tries to be fun, the emotional quotient is strong, the actors sell it like it's their life depends on it. Even everyone surrounding them elevates each other to what is required. Everything is happening so much. But the thing is, at the end of the day, War 2 works only if you are ready to completely accept the fact that you're going to watch this random, logicless film that mainly wants to tell you a story about two men wanting to prove to each other who is the alpha, or who is the stronger one, who is the more competitive one, who is the more charismatic one, who can convince the camera of their charm, and who, the basic dual hero kind of a thing. But here, since one is pitted against each other, we also have an up and down in their trajectories. See, at the end of the day, War 2 should have been a lot more than what it is, simply because the spy universe gives them a lot more to play with. but it's very, very happily understanding of the fact that they are just going to deliver a simple masala film. But the point is, the simple masala film that they want to deliver is not the simple masala film that is the template today. Today, even the simple masala films need to have certain things that war doesn't. It doesn't have a coherent screenplay that actually tells you what is happening. It doesn't have characters that are more than superficial. They don't have, scenes that are properly coming together and giving us a sense of a story. And even the most, let's say, the cliched dialogues that are being told with so much conviction by actors like Hrithik Roshan, Junior NTR, Ashutosh Rana, and even Anil Kapoor, we are almost sold by those things, and then the film comes in the way, and then the stardom comes in the way. A lot of things should have worked for War 2, and what really worked in War and didn't work in War 2 is that the scale is much, much bigger here, and automatically the stakes are lower despite talking about world domination, despite talking about an assassination of an important leader, despite talking about a flashback that connects two principal characters, despite talking about how the universe is connected through these spies. I'm not just talking about, of course, Kabir. It's also, there's Pathan involved, there is Tiger there is, all these characters involved. Despite all of this, the film is a throwback to times that were, but employs cinematic techniques, employs a narrative that is still back there and not moved far enough. I think that war between what should be told today with the sensibilities of yesterday is what is the biggest problem of where the spy universe will go in the future. That's it for now. If you like this video review episode, do like, share, and subscribe to Cinema Express, and do let us know what you thought of this review and the film. And until we meet in the next video review episode, this is your friendly neighbor critic, Avinash Ramachandran, signing off. Tata.